The bus coughed and wheezed, finally rolling to a stop. Maria blinked, the dust from the road gritty in her eyes. Home. 2 years. 2 long years of scrubbing floors, washing dishes, and enduring cold winters in a strange land. Every naira she earned, she sent it back. Every single one. For him. For James. For their future. She stretched, her back aching from the long journey. Her worn suitcase felt light, but her heart was heavy with a mix of excitement and a strange, unfamiliar dread. It was silly, she told herself. Just nerves. She hailed a motorcycle taxi, the driver nodding as she gave him her address. The familiar streets of their village, once so clear in her memory, now felt slightly off, like a faded photograph. As they neared her small house, a knot tightened in her stomach. The gate was slightly ajar. A tiny, almost imperceptible detail, but it pricked at her. James was always so careful. He secured everything. She paid the driver, her hands trembling slightly as she reached for the gate. It swung inward with a faint creak. The front door was also unlocked. Maria pushed it open slowly, a chill crawling up her spine despite the warm afternoon air. "James!" she called out, her voice a little thin. No answer. The house was quiet. Too quiet. The familiar scent of their home, a mix of cooking spices and a faint smell of wood smoke, was missing. Instead, there was a different smell. Something sweet, like cheap perfume. She walked through the small living room, her eyes scanning everything. A new curtain hung over the window, a bright, flowery pattern she didn't recognize. On the small wooden table, next to the old radio, was a teacup. 2 teacups, actually. And one of them had a lipstick stain. A deep, vivid red. Maria didn't wear red lipstick. Her breath hitched. Her mind reeled, trying to make sense of it. No. It couldn't be. Not James. Not her James. She moved into the kitchen, her steps heavy. The sink had a few unwashed dishes, and a pot sat on the cold stove, some leftover stew caked to its bottom. But it was the small, brightly colored hair tie on the counter that made her stomach clench. It was definitely not hers. A cold dread seeped into her bones. She walked towards their bedroom, her heart hammering against her ribs. The door was slightly ajar. She pushed it open slowly, the hinges groaning. The room was neat, almost too neat. Her side of the bed was untouched. But on James's pillow, nestled against it, was a single, long strand of dark hair. It wasn't hers. Her hair was lighter, shorter now. Maria backed away, her mind a blur. The perfume, the teacup, the hair tie, the hair. Each small detail was a hammer blow. She stumbled out of the room, out of the house, needing air. She sat on the small wooden bench outside, staring at her own front door, a stranger in her own home. Hours passed. The sun dipped lower, painting the sky in fiery oranges and purples. Maria didn't move. She just sat, numb. Her phone, which had buzzed excitedly with messages from James throughout her journey, was silent. She hadn't replied to his last one, a simple "see you soon, my love." The words now felt like a cruel joke. Suddenly, she heard footsteps approaching. Her head snapped up. It was James. He was whistling, a happy tune, carrying a small bag of groceries. He looked tired, but his face lit up when he saw her. "Maria. My love. You're here." He dropped the bag and rushed forward, arms open wide. Maria didn't move. Her face was a blank mask. James stopped, his smile fading. "What's wrong? Why are you sitting out here?" He looked from her to the house, a flicker of confusion, then something else, crossing his face. Panic. "Who is she, James?" Maria's voice was a whisper, but it cut through the evening air like a knife. He froze. His eyes darted away, then back to her. "Who? What are you talking about?" He tried to sound innocent, but his voice was too high, too forced. "Don't lie to me," she said, her voice growing stronger, a tremor running through it. "I went inside. The perfume. The teacup. The hair. Who is she?" James swallowed hard. His face crumpled. "Maria, please, let me explain." "Explain what?" Her voice rose, no longer a whisper but a raw, aching cry. Explain why you kept another woman in our house while I was working myself to the bone, sending you everything. Explain why you betrayed me, James. After all I did for us. He looked desperate. It was just loneliness, Maria. You were gone for so long. She helped. Helped. Maria stood up, her legs wobbly. Tears finally started to fall, hot and stinging. She helped you forget about me. She helped you spend my money. Did she help you sleep in our bed? He took a step towards her, reaching out. Maria, don't. Please. I'm sorry. It was a mistake. She's gone now. She left this morning. A cold, bitter laugh escaped Maria's lips. She left this morning. So you cleaned up the evidence just before I arrived. You thought I wouldn't notice. The thought sickened her even more. He was not just a betrayer, but a cowardly one. I just didn't want to hurt you, he mumbled, looking at his feet. You didn't want to hurt me. Her voice was laced with pure disbelief. You have shattered me, James. You have broken every single promise, every single dream we had. The air between them was thick with unspoken accusations, with the weight of 2 years of sacrifice now turning to ash. The sweet evening breeze suddenly felt cold, carrying with it the bitter scent of betrayal. Maria looked at the house, their house, and it felt contaminated. A beautiful memory turned ugly. James finally looked up, his eyes pleading. What do we do now, Maria? She stared at him, at the man she had trusted, the man she had loved with all her heart. The stranger standing before her. Her mind was blank, yet overflowing. The question hung in the air, unanswered. The silence stretched, heavy and final, as the last rays of sunlight faded from the sky. What indeed? Maria didn't sleep that night. Every creak of the house, every rustle of leaves outside made her heart jump. She sat in silence, her mind sharp with fear and fury. By the first hint of dawn, she had a plan. Quietly, she slipped out of bed, dressed in her darkest wrapper, and tucked her documents, passport, ID card, and bank slips, into a small bag. She took her savings, hidden in the seam of her old suitcase, and wrapped it tightly around her waist. Instead of going to the garden, where James expected her to be, she left through the back, her steps quiet as a whisper. She didn't look back. Not once. By the time James woke up, she was gone. Maria went straight to the local police station in the next town. She knew the village officers were too close to James. She reported everything, the betrayal, the pregnancy, the phone call. She had secretly recorded his words. Her phone had captured it all. The officers took her seriously. They arranged for her protection and sent a team to the house. James never saw it coming. He was in the garden, crouched by a bush, holding a small plastic bag, a dead snake inside. When the police arrived, he tried to act innocent, but when they played the recording, his face drained of color. Ngozi was arrested later that day, already packing her things. The baby was real, but so was the plot to kill. Maria stayed in town for a while, shaken but alive. Slowly, she began to rebuild. She started a small catering business, using her skills and the little money she had left. Her story spread, not as a tragedy, but as a tale of strength. Women came to her for advice. Some cried on her shoulder. Others cheered her on. One day, as she served food at a wedding, a young girl whispered to her, "You're the woman who escaped the snake trap." Maria smiled, tired but proud. "Yes," she said. "But I'm also the woman who learned never to sleep beside a snake again." Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.